Namo Namaste Gurave Mahatmane Vimukta Sangaya Saduttamaya Nityadvayananda Rasaswarupine Bhumne Sada Paradayam Budhamne Namaste Namaste Vibho Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Tapoyogagamya Namaste Namaste Shruti Jnanagamya Swarajya Samrajya Vibhutiresha Bhavat Kripa Shri Mahima Prasadat Prapta Maya Shri Gurave Mahatmane Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namo Namastestu Punarnamostu Namastasmai Sadaikasmai Kasmai Chinmahase Namaha Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate Yadetad Vishwarupena Rajate Guru Rajate. So yesterday we had said that the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, they are constituting nature, but in 14th chapter or in Bhagavad Gita mainly, we are studying them with respect to the human personality. And they give us a very direct method of transforming our personality. The whole spiritual sadhana or human evolution is the transformation of personality. The Atma remains as it is. All of us are real identity is Atma. We don't have to do anything with the Atma. Only we don't know who we really are. That knowledge dawns as the mind and intelligence undergo a transformation. And that transformation is our sadhana. So, these three guna constitution, Bhagavad Gita particularly mentions that how they are binding us. They have mentioned dehe, but actually speaking, how they are binding us to our constricted personality, small personality. Why are we suffering? Because we don't know our real dimension. We think we are small, we are afraid of so many things, we are slave to so many things, we are not able to win over our own tendencies. All these are smallness because we don't know what we are. So the whole sadhana is to transform our mind and intelligence so that we can identify with the real infinite universal dimension which we really are. So the bondages created by the three gunas, they are actually making us small. And what are the bondages we had discussed yesterday? Suppose tamoguna basically, and also we discussed that basically these gunas, in their pure form there is nothing wrong, and without them there cannot be anything in creation. The whole creation he mentioned not only on this Prithvi, natadasti prithivyamba divi deveshu vapuna, in the entire creation, whether it is Svarga, Naraka, space, anything, these three gunas have to be there, and we had discussed it also. So the tamoguna, which by itself is the sthiti, that is the stability, peace, these are actually tamoguna. But in its manifestation, because of our sangha, that means we are always given to clinging to whatever we like, and intolerant or hating or refusing to do whatever we dislike. Suppose many disciplines are there, if we follow, our life will become much better. But we are not able to follow the disciplines. So that is also the inertial effect. But these are the bondages created by tamoguna. So we discussed that it is the ignorance is basically the tamoguna effect. It creates a covering on us to make us forget who we really are. Suppose the sun is there, but we are not able to see the sun because of the cloud coverage. Now we don't have to create the sun, we have to only remove the cloud. Like that, the ajnana, the ignorance, has to be removed by incorporating knowledge or jnana. Jnana will remove ajnana from the intelligence, mind, etc. Then we will see what is our real identity. You may know, some of you who have studied, that we call it the discovery of our Atma, discovery of our soul, we call it Smriti. Smriti means memory. This is very significant. Why should we call it memory? The avishkarana, the discovery of the soul, we call it getting back the memory. Why? Because suppose sun is there, sun is as it is, but a cover was not allowing us to see our real life. When it goes, oh, acha, I am infinite, I am immortal. You must have heard of so many shlokas Shvetashvatara has got. One is very famous, that Shrinvantu Vishve Amritasya Putraha Aye Dhamani Divyani Tastuhu Vedaham Edam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasah Parastat Tameva Viditva Atimrityumeti Nanya Pantha Vidyate Ainaya. They are saying, oh, you all listen, the Rishi is exhorting all of us that you are all Amritasya Putraha, you are all children of immortality. That means you are also immortal. How the Rishi is saying that? He says that I have known that Mahantam Purusham Tamasah Parastat. See, the Tama word is used there as ignorance also. That going beyond the ignorance, I have known the great, brilliant I that we are, that all of us are. And knowing that identity, our real, which is our real identity, which we have forgotten, knowing that only we can become immortal. We can cross over the fear of death, we can cross over death. There is no other way. Death means the body will die, but we will not die, and we will not be scared of death. We will not have the fear of death also. Tameva viditva atimrityumeti. We transcend death. Nanya pantha vidyate ayana. There is no other way by which one can become immortal. Because immortality is not to be found in the created universe. All are objects. Everything is created means it has started, it has got birth, it will grow and decay, and finally it will die. So the immortality is only with the consciousness, which is our real identity. It is not bound by our body-mind personality. It is the only one. Even saying one is wrong because it is transcendental. One means our objective one. We think when one is there, many are also there. It is transcending the concept of number also. So that is what our real identity. So it is actually getting back the memory of what we are. So it is called Smriti. A relevant one is in Chaandogya Upanishad. Narada, who always travels, one day he happens to meet Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara was a very young knower, like Nachiketa. Nachiketa was only 7 years old. Sanat Kumara also, who always remains young. So seeing Sanat Kumara, Narada is saying that you give me some upadesha, you give me some message. So Sanat Kumara said that to tell you something, first I have to know what you know. Only when you tell me what you know, I can give you, which will be useful for you. Then Narada tells him what he knows. It's a big paragraph in Chaandogya where he says, I know all the Vedas, all the 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, and there is many other Vidya like Sarpa Vidya, Dhanur Vidya, all other, whatever in the name of knowledge is there, everybody, everything, Narada knew. There was nothing which he did not know. Saying that, the last sentence he is saying that, Mantravidoham asmi, natu atmavid. That is, I know all the mantras of these Vedas, Vedangas and everything, but I don't know myself. So until I know myself, I cannot say I know. Because I have learnt only, it is the theoretical knowledge I have of everything. I can do everything. But I don't know myself. Saying that, what does it mean? That you can tell me about who am I. That is the idea. But Sanat Kumara says, how do you know that you don't know yourself? How do you say that you don't know yourself? He says, Tarati shokam atmavid. I have heard that an atmavid will not have grief. He would transcend grief. But I am always having grief. So I don't know myself. Then Sanat Kumara starts his message to him. About the self. Now there, in the beginning itself, he says, Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi, sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi, smriti lambhe sarvagranthīnām vipramokshaha. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi. Sattva means whatever we are made of, elements, the being. Ahara shuddhau means by the purification of ahara. Now ahara, normally we think that it is only the food we are taking with the mouth. It is not so. Ahara means aharana. That means whatever inputs we are taking from outside. So it is with the mouth, with the 5 indriyas, whatever we are seeing, whatever we are listening. And after all these indriyas, more important ahara is what we are thinking, what we are collecting with the mind, and whatever we are analyzing with the intelligence. All these can be different. Now, whatever we are thinking of the mind will depend on what novel we are reading or what books we are reading, what we are seeing in the internet, everything. According to that, the mind will go on thinking. And analyzing also, what I am analyzing with my buddhi, whether it is only how to gain this, that and all, or how to thieve, or how to get this, get that. So, ahara includes everything, not only the inputs with the indriyas, but more important is what we are seeing and thinking and bringing to our mind and intelligence, because that constitutes our inner personality. The indriyas are not so important because they are important because they are influencing the mind. But what we are doing in the mind is what we are. Manah kritam kritam karma, natu deha kritam kvachid. Whatever we are doing with the mind is the real thing, our real personality, not what our body is doing. He says that, second line I have forgotten, that says that the two arms with which we hug our mother, the same arms are hugging my beloved also, partner also. So it is an act of hugging which is same in both the cases. But in the mind are not the two completely different, hugging the mother and hugging the prayasi. That is what the shloka says. Manah kritam kritam karma, natu deha kritam kvachita. The real thing is what we are doing with the mind, what we are thinking. So here also it is saying, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi. When we purify all the inputs, then our being gets purified. When the being gets purified, then what happens? Sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi. That reminded me to tell this. Dhruva smritihi. That means our memory of our real identity, that becomes dhruva. Dhruva means constant. We will never forget. Once we know that, well, this we are, there is no question of forgetting. So we get the dhruva smriti. There also they are saying it is a smriti, because we are that. We cannot change the Atma at all. Atma cannot be changed. It is not in the objectude. It is the consciousness which is revealing the entire universe, outer universe, as well as the thoughts, mind, emotions, everything. Atma is only revealing, exposing. We are knowing. Smriti lambhe sarva granthinam vipramokshaha. When we get back the smriti of what I am, then all the knots of the heart, knots of the intelligence, they get broken. They get dissolved. Why? All the trouble is coming from the smallness of our identity. We are running after things we like, we are running away from the things we dislike. It is only because we are thinking we are small and we have to run after something, we have to run away from something. Once we know that the I is universal, it embraces everything, then there is no question of any of the troubles we are suffering from. So, Granthi Mukta, that means Granthi, the Granthi means knots. The knots of the heart, knots of the intelligence getting dissolved means we will be freed of all these misconceptions, delusions, everything. We will know who we are and we will be able to freely act in the world. So this ahara part in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita they have discussed in great detail. That what is sattvika ahara, what is rajasa ahara, what is tamas ahara. That means inputs, not only food. We can take the food also, they have discussed food, but to extend it to a larger extent, we have to extend it to all the inputs. Because the effect is the same, or effect is even more when it is in the level of the mind and intelligence. So there in the Sattvika Ahara, in the 17th chapter, he is defining what are the three aharas. Ayuh sattva balarogya sukha priti vibadhanaha rasya snigdha sthira hridya ahara sattvika priyaha. Now here we always try to, general tendency is to specify the ahara as something, ahara is sattvic. That is, which is sattvic for A will be sattvic for B, will be sattvic for C also. It is not fully correct. It is not like that. If you study it with detail, then you will find that there is the effect which it is producing in somebody. So, suppose papaya is a very sattvic ahara. Now, if you take lot of papaya, then it will not be, you will have discomfort. It is not sthira. The sattvika ahara is such that after taking, you should feel very comfortable, stable. So if you don't feel stable by taking a sattvika item, that means it is not sattvika ahara for you. And for some people, certain thing may be producing a very stability, good effect. For others, it may not suit. It may produce gas for them. So we have to check our ahara from the effect it is producing in me. Even otherwise also. What are we going to do by applying these laws? We are trying to make our whole being very stable, pure, expansive, subtle, so that it can know everything very well. He says, Ayuhu, the span of life. It means the life force. Ayuhu means life force. Why our medical science is called Ayurveda? Because it is not like the Western medical science where it is a fragmented analysis of what part of a food or medicine will cause what change in the body. But it's an overall study of the body-mind personality, and it's the effect of the food on this. Not only food, everything. Ayurveda consists of the living. That what will be conducive to the sustenance of life forces. That is what it is, Ayurveda, the knowledge of Ayuhu. So, the food should be such that it should promote sustenance of life force. Then only it will be sattvika. Sattva. Sattva means the elements of our being, that it should be conducive to building up of cells and all that. The body should be properly maintained. Bala, it should give rise to enough of strength. If we take too much of food, I don't think it will give us more strength. Even if we take very so-called energetic food, spicy food, or which will agitate us, but in the long run it will take away our strength. So whatever food will be, generally we say that the fruits and nuts, they produce lot of, that give us the bala, the strength to our being. Arogya, keeping the body disease free. So sattvika food has to keep our body disease free also to the extent possible. Sukha priti vivardhanaha. It has nothing to do with the food. It has to do with the food, but see how they are describing. What is the effect of the food on our body? It should make us cheerful. By taking a very spicy food, if we show anger and if we start breathing heavily and all, it is not increasing our cheerfulness, increasing our cheer. So here sukha means it should make us cheerful, happy. Preeti, we should be loving to others. That means it should extend our existence, our feeling of mindness. That is, it should not make us constricted. Preeti means loving everybody. So the food which will make us loving everybody, loving more and more people, loving the animals, loving the human beings, loving everything. All these things they are coming under sattvika. Why? Because it is finally resulting in a very subtle expansion of our knowledge. Of our knowledge means consciousness. In the other portion, which all the shlokas I could not take up, there it is saying that when the sattva guna increases in our being, sarvadvareshu prakasha upajayate. All our senses will become brilliant. They will sense much more than what we are doing. See, by adding condiments, too much of, yesterday it was red. But that was only the sight. I don't know what was it because I have not taken it. But I am saying that by adding lot of chili and all, we are trying to excite the tongue actually. But by that we are taking away the normal taste of the food. If you fry it too much and burn it too much and add lot of condiments, by that what will happen to the vegetable? It will not have its normal prana shakti. It has a living power in it. It has a life in it. That life will not be known even. So a proper sattvika cooking will be, you do it with the minimum of heat. If you can have a low temperature cooking for a longer period and all, you will find the taste is so good. Absolutely different from our cooking generally. If you boil it too much also, it is gone. I would suggest those who have not done, most of you might have done, you are all expert cooks must be, that in the pan you cook it openly, not using pressure cooker or any cover. And go on seeing the green vegetables will become still greener. At a certain point, the green color will increase, not decrease. If you leave it at that point, then you will find even just by leaving it hot also the green color fades. So you have to stop the cooking just before that so that the finished product is very green, if it is green vegetable. Any other color also equally, if it is red or other vegetables are there, the colors will become brighter. The colors represent the quality of the food. So because we are adding so much of condiment, overcooking, everything we do, it is because of unmindfulness. We are not subtle enough to sense the real life force of the food, the ayuhu of the food also, which will give us ayuhu. We are not sensitive to that. So we are spoiling the food and taking it. So as we develop these senses, what is happening? Sattva guna is increasing. Why? Because we are becoming aware of the whole situation, aware of the vegetables, aware of surroundings also. You will find that you are becoming aware of the animals, their sentiments, their emotions. We are not careful about it. We hurt them also. But they also have emotions. You will try to understand their language also. Now we are trying to understand our dog language because we never had dog in the ashram. Now we have one Surya Kumari. So she is developing her language, and with that I am also trying to understand their language. She is developing her bhasha quite much. Over the last 6 months, lot of words she has picked up in her own language, not our words. But we have to understand what they are trying to say, what they are speaking. And the Sattva guna will allow us to understand their language also. It will not only be that they will come to you, they will sit on your body, they will sit on your head also. In our ashram, I used to come back from morning work in the village. It was in a village. For about 5 minutes inside the village, it's time for me to come back. There will be a team of birds, squirrels and others there coming with me over the fences and all. As I am moving, they were also coming. Then as soon as we sit with we will give some biscuits, that's all. And they liked biscuits also. I tried giving them a little cashew. They rejected the cashew and took Britannia biscuit. I asked the Britannia people, the general manager was known to us that you take it as your advertisement, that the squirrels are rejecting cashew nut and taking Britannia biscuit. But they did not do it. So if I am a little delayed, the squirrels will climb over and pull my ears from here. I cannot delay, I have to be ready with the food. They are very punctual, more than human beings. Absolutely at that time you have to be there and give. And there was a bird which had only one leg. So it was attacked by the others. So very intelligently it would straight away come and sit on my lap and eat from there. Nobody can do anything there. So it's very interesting to know everybody, and people may ask what happened now. Yes, we had gone out and our other people were giving, but they are not punctual. So one day they will give at 7 o'clock, another day they will give at 9 o'clock. So the whole animal people rejected Narayana Shmatapavanam. These people are not punctual. So, Sukha Priti Vivadhana, why are they calling it Sattvic? We must understand the subtle sense here. That Sattva guna means knowledge, means consciousness. It's a subtle knowledge of everything. Sarvadvareshu prakasha upajayate. You will start knowing many things with the senses. The same senses will tell us so many things. You will be able to know the minds of the people. When you are speaking to somebody, you may speak something, I am very happy, and laugh, but we will know that no, it's only the outer laugh and outer happiness, but inside the person is suffering. You cannot cover it up, because the subtle things will be seen, will be known. The Sattva guna enhances the subtle vision, the consciousness of all our powers, all the sense organs also. That is why this food is also called Sattvic, which enhances our Sattvika qualities. See, I am only telling you how to read the Shastras, so that you can read and you can cull out the meaning. You have to hammer and cull out the real meaning and link up all the shlokas from different chapters. Then only you will get the joy. Somewhere they have defined something about Sattvika guna, Sattvika jnana, Sattvika sukha. Somewhere they are talking about Sattvika ahara. But all of them are related. We should be able to connect them. Next he says, Rasya snigdha sthira hridya. Rasya means tasty. You can say which will give rise to saliva also, which will be easily digested. It should be tasty. A Sattvika ahara does not mean that it will be bland and absolutely tasteless. It may be bland in the sense that less spices are used, but it should be extremely tasty. Otherwise it has not been done properly. It is difficult to cook light food because it needs sensitivity on the part of the cook also. That is why they add a lot of masala, that their subtlety will not be known. It's a cover-up. So rasya snigdha. Snigdha means sneha. Sneha means, actually it has come from ghee, the sneha padat, that oil and ghee and all, which spreads. Oil, if you put a droplet on the water, it will spread everywhere. So it has the property of spreading, expanding. So snigdha means a quality which spreads in others also. A person also can have a sneha, we say, affectionate character. Why? Because he is affectionate to others, affectionate about others. He doesn't remain encapsulated in his own, that is only thinking about himself. But he has affection towards all, love for all. So snigdha means the food should have enough of oil content also, which is spread over the whole body, taking the nutrition to the different portions of the body, different parts of the body, and which will incorporate some affection in the mind also. The mind also will become subtle and pervading. Rasya snigdha sthira. It should give a very stable feeling to us. See, sthira means what? We can say the food is sthira. If you say that, it means that right after eating it should not vanish. That means after eating, the effect of the fulfillment should remain for some time. This is one way of looking at it. Another is that it should produce a sthira effect in us, that we should feel very stable. Even a sattvic food, if you take too much, it will not be sthira. Hridya, which will be very much liked by our heart. That means our heartiness. It is the emotion. You can say it is the do with the emotion. Whenever we are talking about hridaya or heart, it is referring to our emotional content, not the buddhi content, but the emotion content. We say that the Atma is in guha. Guha means it is hidden. Guha means cave, cavern. Means normally we are not seeing, we are thinking I, that ordinary I we are thinking. But the real I is hidden. So we say it is guha, it is in the guha. But sometimes we say it is in the hrid guha, sometimes we say it is in buddhi guha. Both are correct. Hrid guha, when we are referring to the Atma, the I, as the emotional part of our being. Suppose somebody says, did you do it? No. Me? No. You are showing here. Now you don't say, no, I did not do it. You don't say that. Do you say? You show here. That is the Hridaya Sthana. That is, emotionally we feel the I is here. That is our emotional center. But when you are trying to find out, discover the Atma, by the I is the knower of the body, I is the knower of the thoughts, I is the knower of the emotions. So it is not the emotion, it is not the body, it is not the mind. Then what is that I? It is approaching through the buddhi. And the Atma Paramatma meets somewhere about 1 inch above that. That is the yogic way of expression, not Vedantic way, of course. But that is also true. So this buddhi guha and hrid guha, there hridaya generally refers to our emotional center. Hridya means our emotions should become rich by taking the sattvika ahara. See, so many things are there. It is all referring to the taking food. We should have all these things. That emotion also should become enriched. Whereas the next verse talks about Katvam lalavanātyushna tīkshna rūksha vidāhinaha ahara rajasasyeshta dukkha shoka amaya pradaha. I will not go into the detail then. It's already almost 1 hour over. Katu, amla, lavana, atyushna, tīkshna. Everything is very sharp, very hot, chilly, very salted, over salted, over bitter also. Over bitter is also rajasa. A lot of Karela and all you can feed saying that it is very good, but too much is rajasa. Ruksha, Tishna, Ruksha. Ruksha means dry. It doesn't have rasa. It has dried up. Which will produce a lot of bidahina, which will produce, after taking daha, you will feel burning. It will result in dukkha and shoka and amaya. Amaya means the roga, that means disease. So like that, like the tamasahara is yata yamam gatarasam puti pariyushitam jayat uchishtam api chamedyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. The tamasa people, they like this kind. Now is yata yamam gatarasam, these are not applicable now because if you have refrigerator and deep freezer and all, yama means only 4 hours or so, I think. 1 prahara or so, 4 hours or whatever. After that, the food loses its life. Gatarasam, if it is something which has some taste and all, that has gone stale. Or maybe almost getting degenerated. Puti parishitam. Uchishtam, that leftover. So actually, we have to balance that. here, see, in India, whatever is excess, we have found out that some shanties and all where we can distribute the food regularly, so we inform the people who will take or who will give, so our food is not wasted. So that food is never used in next day. In America, we don't have any such facility, so we have to keep it in the fridge and serve it again next day. But the fridge is there, we can serve next day. But what we do, that uchishtam part we can, to the extent possible, we can look into it. That is, suppose they supply, the caterer supplies in trays. So we started telling them that you take the last, whatever we are expecting, take 2 smaller trays. They give in big trays. You ask them to divide it into 2 smaller trays, and depending on the necessity, we will open them. Suppose people are less, we will put both in the, that is, it is not becoming uchishta. You have not served from the same vessel, opened it and given it from the same vessel and keeping the rest of it. Uchishta means that. So by that, the drishti has not fallen, the handling has not taken place. It preserves the purity of the food to a large extent. But we generally tell our CIRD people to try to follow that part, that keep it in different smaller trays and try to preserve only that which is excess. It should not be the stirred one from which people have taken, and in some cases it is buffet also. People themselves are taking, so it is absolutely uchishta there. Amedhyam means which cannot be offered to the Lord or offered in yajna. Absolutely word-wise meaning is cannot be offered in yajna. That means cannot be offered to Lord. That means which is not pure. Such things. Bali is telling Rama that why are you killing me? Because I am Vanara who is Amedhya. That flesh is not eaten by anybody. So my flesh will not be offered to any yajna also. By killing me, what purpose is served? That is one part of the, whether it is Bali or somewhere else, I don't know. It's there. So all these are there. Now this is what our Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, in broad sense, this is what it is. Now, the main purpose of 14th chapter is that to take us beyond this bondages of the gunas. So for that, let us go to the shloka. After discussing various points of when sattva enhances, when rajoguna increases, all these things, you go to 19th verse of 14th chapter. We have it here. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram. This is an extremely important shloka. Would you like to chant following me? Nanyam gunebhya kartaram.
Nanyam gunebhya kartaram.
Yada drashtanupashyati.
Yada drashtanupashyati.
Gunebhyascha param veti.
Gunebhyascha param veti.
Madbhavam sodhigacchati.
Madbhavam sodhigacchati.
Nanyam gunebhyah kartaram.
Nanyam gunebhyah kartaram.
Yada drashtanupashyati.
Yada drashtanupashyati.
Gunebhyascha param veti.
Gunebhyascha param veti.
Madbhavam sodhigacchati.
Madbhavam sodhigacchati.
See, drashta means the seer. That means pashyati. Pashyana means to see. Drashta means the seer. Drashta means we. It is referring to anybody, the sadhak. Yada drashta, when the drashta jiva, when the darshaka, when the sadhaka, Gunebhya anyam kartaram na anupashyati. Gunebhya, from the gunas, different from. Gunebhya anyam means different from the gunas. Kartaram na anupashyati. They don't see any other karta. Karta means doer. Doer. Other than the gunas. They don't see. Gunebhyascha param vetti. But they see something transcending the gunas. Tada saha madbhavam adhigacchati. Then he takes to my bhava. Now one thing you have to remember in Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, he is repeatedly saying that he attains me, he attains my bhava, all that. So we have to remember that Krishna is a person who had attained the knowledge. The knowledge means what? He had identified his I with the universal consciousness. That is what Krishna is. So whenever he says that one attains me, means he also identifies with the universal consciousness. Here madbhavam saha adhigacchati means such a person attains my bhava, means as I am having an universal vision, for everything is one for me, that I am able to see the fundamental substratum, the one transcendental substratum, he also sees that. That means he becomes, in his realization, he becomes equal to Krishna. In his function, he will not become equal to Krishna, because that will depend on Krishna's body-mind personality. Two knowers are same in their realization of the truth. But in the functional aspect, the two can be poles apart. Even Ramakrishna Dev and Vivekananda, one is the disciple of the other. If you look into the functional part of Vivekananda and Ramakrishna, they are poles apart, absolutely different. But in their realization, they are the same. Like that, any realization of the truth is not a body-mind limited thing. It is the transcendental consciousness we are identifying with. So there cannot be any difference in the realization. It's the same truth realized by everybody. But in functional state, it will be different. So madbhavam saha adhigacchati means he attains my bhava, Krishna says. That means he also attains that universal vision. Abheda drishti, we say. That is all the fragmented universe, fragmented creation. They are all appearing on the one transcendental consciousness. That consciousness they are not missing. Yesterday also we discussed that whenever something is coming to our mind, we are holding on to that thought. My boss's thought has come, my employee's thought has come, my mother's thought has come, my partner's thought has come. So we are always focused on whose thought it is. But the thought is only, it is an object before I. The I is knowing that thought. And in knowing the thought, we are missing that the thought is appearing in that I, in the consciousness. By focusing on the person who has appeared in my mind, we are missing the substratum consciousness, which is everywhere. Like the wave, on focusing on the wave, we are missing the ocean. It is exactly like that. So, he says that when the seer does not see any other doer than the gunas, not only that, he sees something transcending the gunas also. So two factors are there. First we'll analyze the first portion. Then he attains my bhava is what he says. Now no karta other than the gunas, that has been discussed in 3rd chapter, 2nd chapter also, where he says tattvavittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. He says that a person, a knower of truth, he is not deluded by the function of the gunas. Because what are the gunas? The gunas are the constituent of prakriti, of nature. That means the whole world with which we are interacting, it is made of the three gunas. My body, mind, personality, is it not a product of the world, product of nature? So is it not also made of the three gunas? So if we have an impersonal vision, then you will see that the whole universe made of the three gunas is interacting with the body, mind, personality made of the three gunas. Our indriyas are also made of three gunas, and it is the five indriyas which is experiencing the world. We don't know of the world other than these five indriyas experience. But these indriyas are also made of the gunas. So the impersonal vision is that the gunas with which my body, mind, personality is made of, those gunas are interacting with the world, which is again made of the three gunas. So it is an interplay of the gunas with the gunas. Is it clear? No. It is everywhere, it is gunas interplaying with them. But where from I am thinking that I am doing it? So karta, I am positing a new karta there by our delusion. I have done this something great. I have to do that. I have to do this. Or I have done something sinful I am suffering for. I does not do anything at all. It is the Prakriti's gunas which have made my body, mind, personality, and it is the Prakriti's gunas which has made the external world. This body, mind, personality made of the gunas is interacting with the external world made of the gunas. Nowhere there is a doer. It is the gunas are the doers by themselves. They are the karma, they are the karta, they are everything. Guna guneshu vartante. Iti matva na sajjate. Then he doesn't cling anymore. It is the I feeling that kartaham iti manyate, that I am the karta, that is making us sticking to that. I did something great, so I associate with the karma there. I did something sinful, I feel bad about it. So I am associating with always whatever the gunas are doing. Guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. It's the same thing. Gune Nanyam gunebhya kartaram. That the karta, the doer, I am creating the doer I, and saying that I have done this, I have done that. That I has not done anything. I is only the witness of whatever the gunas are doing and gunas interplay going on. You should understand it very well. It's not going in? Yes. So in third chapter you will find where is the kama sitting. That kama esha, krodha esha, rajo guna samudbhava mahashana. That after that he is explaining that it is because of the desires that all these troubles are. So we have to remove the desires. We have to catch hold of the desires and purify them. Understand the redundancy of desire and remove them. So in saying that, he says that indriyasya indriyasyat indriyani paranyahu. It is third chapter 42 and 43. It's very important. It gives the whole process of discovering the soul. Indriyani parani ahu. Indriyebhya param manaha. Manasastu para buddhihi. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha. He says indriyas are very, very powerful. Everybody knows. It's very powerful. And we are always becoming dasa, slave to the indriyas. Is it not? In every way, in all the indriyas, we are becoming slave to that. Them. And we are losing our freedom, our mastery in the world. He says that yes, indriyas are very, very powerful. It is the knowers also say, parani iti ahuhu. But know that indriyebhya param manaha. Know that more powerful than the indriyas is the mind. Without the association of the mind, the indriyas will be absolutely useless. They will not be able to do anything. Suppose the eyes are seeing a rose, but if you are sleeping, the mind is not with that. It will not be able to do anything. Suppose your brain function something is that some rasgulla is given in front, but the brain is not allowing your hand to go there and take it. Will you be able to? The association of the mind is giving the power to the indriyas. So if you try to correct the indriyas, try to make the indriyas behave applying the mind, then there is a possibility of winning over the indriyas. You need not be slave to the indriyas. But the problem is that the mind is also corrupted by the desires. Following the indriyas, the mind has got corrupted. How a corrupted mind can set right the corrupted indriyas? So they are saying, manasastu para buddhi. So buddhi is still more powerful than the mind, because the buddhi will be able to guide the mind. But how will it do? The buddhi also has got corrupted by the desires following the mind. Suppose the mind wants money which is non-righteous. I want to break a bank locker. So the buddhi will tell us that don't go at this time, you do this, do that. No, that locker is specially, you get this instrument. Everything the buddhi will do. Why? Because the buddhi has contracted the desire by associating with the mind. So a corrupt buddhi cannot correct a corrupt mind. Corrupt mind cannot correct the corrupt indriyas. Then what to do? Remain corrupted? No. So he says, yo buddhe paratastu saha. So you have to go beyond the buddhi. Up to the buddhi, the body, the sense organs, the mind and the buddhi, all are affected by the three gunas. So they are all affected by the kama, the desires also. So you have to look for something superior to even to the buddhi, which is not affected by the three gunas. So he says, yo buddhe paratastu saha. In this verse, what we were studying, what is written? Gunebhyascha param veti. It's not only he is seeing that the gunas are doing everything, but he knows there is something superior to the gunas. He knows that. Here it is, that is the superior one. Yo buddhe, the gunas effect is up to the world. Whatever is the produce of the nature, up to that is the guna. So up to buddhi is the product of nature. It is part of the world. But there is something which is not part of the nature, which is the purusha, which is beyond the buddhi also, and which is not different for different bodies. It is transcendental, it is one. So saha, he is identifying that. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. Evam buddhe param buddhva. So you have to discover that which is superior to the buddhi. How will discover? He has written buddhva, by the buddhi itself. But if the buddhi is corrupt, how will you discover? You have to train the buddhi, purify the buddhi by the shastras, by thinking about the Atma, what we have been analyzing all these days. So that the buddhi becomes viveka buddhi. It can spot that which is superior to the buddhi. It can spot that which is gunebhyascha param. It can spot that which is not part of the world, on which the whole universe is appearing to be, the consciousness. It can locate that. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhya atmanam atmana. Not only locate, not only discover, you have to anchor yourself there. Anchor your buddhi in that Atma. You have discovered that, well, it is beyond all the three. It is the supreme, it is the consciousness. In Samadhi you have discovered, I am the consciousness. Only Samadhi discovery will not do. When you are interacting with the world, only the memory of the Samadhi will not do. Memory of the Samadhi must help you to anchor your buddhi in that Atma, which yesterday we discussed, the Atmic dimension to be incorporated in the buddhi. We have already discussed. So, samstabhya atmanam atmana means knowing, discovering with the purified buddhi, which is superior to the buddhi, then you fix your buddhi, anchor your buddhi there, so that that buddhi can guide you always. Now that is the purified buddhi called Viveka buddhi, which is anchored in the soul, anchored in our real identity. With that buddhi, you set right the corrupt buddhi, Vishaya buddhi. With that buddhi, you set right the mind, corrupt mind. With that purified mind, you set right the indriyas, the corrupt indriyas. The whole being becomes purified. So you become guided by the soul, not by the world. Not by the ragadvesha towards the world, but by the Atma, soul. So you become established in the Atma. So the Tri-guna effect is going only up to the buddhi level. You have to transcend it. You can do it first through meditation, where everything is not functioning. As Kathopanishad says, Yada panchavatishtante jnanani manasasa buddhisthana vicheshtati tamahu paramam gatim. Tam paramam gatim ahu. That is called the supreme state. What is that? Yada panchavatishtante jnanani manasasa. When all the five indriyas are still, not sleeping, they are steady, not sleeping. Manasasa, mind is also not thinking, but not sleeping. They are awake, everything. Suppose your leg, now your leg is not sleeping. If you want, you can walk, but it is not walking. Like that, all the indriyas and the mind, they can get engaged in the function, but they are not. They are all sitting still. Buddhisthana vicheshtati. Even the buddhi is effortless. The buddhi is not trying to find out, oh, is this samadhi, is this that? Nothing. No further buddhi effect at all. Buddhi is also in the quiescent state. Tamahu paramam gatim. The bodha is still there. The consciousness is still there. It is not just a thoughtless zero state. It is an infinitude. It is a full state where the consciousness fills everything. It is not just a thought-free state of zero that after that you say that Swamiji thoughts तो नहीं है लेकिन क्या करें? उसके बाद क्या है? उसके बाद क्या है कि प्रश्न नहीं उठता है वहाँ पे. Because you will come to know the consciousness that bodha should be there. It is not just the free of thought. That is why he has said here, gunebhyascha param vetti. You have to know and see something which is beyond the gunas. Just thoughtless means there is no guna. Nothing is there. Just stopping at that point will not do. At that time, what is there? It is the bodha, the consciousness is still there. Normally, in that consciousness, always sub-signals are coming sent by the sense organs or by the mind. Some thoughts are coming and all. It is a thought-free state, means the sea is there, but the waves are not there. If the sea also is not felt, not seen, then it is a zero state. It is not. The bodha will be there. Then only you will have the knowledge. So, gunebhyascha param vetti mad bhavam so adhigacchati. Saha adhigacchati. He attained my Baba, Krishna says. Have you got liberated? There are many more things from Bhagavatam also. I will not speak about that. It's already 11:15. So this is corroborated by I will just give the reference, Bhagavatam 11th Skandha, where they are saying that how the tamo guna and rajo guna can be overcome by sattva guna, and how the sattva guna bondage can be overcome by surrender. It is 11th Skandha, 25th chapter, 34-35. That 25th chapter is fully on guna. So it's very good to read. It is just a parallel to 14th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. 11th Skandha, 25th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, particularly shloka number 34 and 35. The last shloka we can just discuss, it is very important. See, it is there in the 14th chapter also. You see the 14th chapter towards the end, almost the last. 26th verse of 14th chapter. Mam cha yaha abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sa gunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Yeah, finished with that. One who cultivates abhyabhicharini bhakti towards me. Abhyabhicharini means what? Not desultory, unswerving. Normally our bhakti is sometimes there, sometimes not there, sometimes to this deva, sometimes to another deva, sometimes to this guru, sometimes to other guru. Nothing like that. Abhyabhicharini bhakti towards whom? Krishna is no longer there in that body. But Krishna, who had identified with the universal consciousness, which is our I also. So the Abhyabhicharini bhakti can only be towards that, our real identity. Then it will be Eka Bhaktir Jnanicha Atmaiva. Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. He is having the one-pointed devotion. So Abhyabhicharini bhakti, when it comes, then Saha gunan samyak atitya. Saha etan gunan samyak atitya. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He transcends all these three gunas. Samyak means he has understood. They all become redundant. They let the gunas function in their own manner. I am not touched by them at all. Let Sattva guna come and go, rajo guna come and go. I am not quoting the bondages created by them because I don't have any sangha anywhere. So he attains the Brahman state. Brahma bhuta bhuyaya kalpate. The parallel shloka in Bhagavatam is the 35th. Sattvam chabhijayet yukto nairapekshena shantadhihi. I think it is there. 25, no? 35. Sattvam chabhijayet yukto nairapekshena shantadhihi sampadyate gunair mukto jivo jivam vihayamam. Here it's a beautiful Sanskrit is used. Jivo jivam vihayamam. Jivaha jivam vihaya mam sampadyate. You analyze it, those who know Sanskrit. Jivaha means our small identity, they are saying. Jiva is the body associated identity, not the Atma. Atma is a transcending body. Jivaha jivam vihaya. That means the small identity transcending its smallness. Mam sampadyate. Transcending its smallness, it becomes same as me, Krishna is saying. That means who has identified with the universal consciousness. Who? Sattvam cha abhijayet yuktaha. One who becomes yuktaha. Who is called yuktaha? Just now I said that evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhya atmana. He is connecting himself to his real identity. He is a yukta. So what does he do? Nairapekshena shantadhi. He becomes peaceful. Shantadhi. His intelligence gets stabilized. Nairapekshena. Nirapeksha means non-expectation. Apeksha means expectation. Nirapeksha means non-expectation. That means surrender. As I said, nirapeksha means there cannot be any complaint. Surrender means there cannot be any complaint. So the Sattva guna bondage of Sukha and Jnana, Sattvika Sukha and Sattvika Jnana, Sangha towards Sattvika Sukha and Sattvika Jnana. Yesterday we forgot everything. Sattvika guna, sattvika jnana and sattvika sukha, the bondage created by them will be overcome by surrender. Let gunas come and go. How does it matter? I am not connected to the guna at all. I am only the witness, or in me, all the gunas are playing in Prakriti. Whether it is rajo guna, tamo guna, sattva guna, no question of any bondage arising anywhere at all. In another place in Bhagavatam, they said, nirapekshata, this non-expectation. It is so great that nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam anubrajamyaham nityam puyeti angrirenubhi. He says this nirapeksha, this surrender or non-expectation, not expecting anything from anywhere, anytime, from anybody. All any has got meaning. Not expecting anything, anytime, from anywhere or anybody. This is such a great quality that Bhagavan himself is saying that such a devotee, I follow him. Not that the devotee is following the God. He says, I follow such a devotee so that I can purify myself with the dust of his feet. The Kavi can do anything. The author can revel in any dimension. Anubrajamyaham nityam. Always I follow him. Puyeti angrirenubhi. So that I can purify myself by the dust of his feet. See, this is in 18th chapter, finally, that where the Svabhava karma is discussed. Because finally the knower acts freely, naturally. But each knower will be acting differently. How will it be governed? It is because of his varna. That is how the qualities are working in his body, mind, personality, according to that. So, our Shastras are dividing the whole population into 4 varnas. Varna doesn't mean jati. It's not caste. Varna means color. Everything has got this varna, depending on the qualities there. So they have divided with these 3 qualities, 3 gunas. We can have permutation and combination to create 4 varnas. They are like Brahmana is Sattvika, Rajasika, Tamas. Sattvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. These are the quality order. Kshatriya, Rajasa goes at the top, then Sattvika, Tamasa. In Vaishya, the Rajasika goes to the top, then Tamasa and followed by Sattva. And Shudra, the Tamasa goes to the top and followed by Rajasa and Sattvika, like that. Now, we have to understand that the pure nature of these 4 categories of the 4 varnas, the Brahmana varna is meant for knowledge, Sattva guna being at the top. They may work tremendously, but they are specified by free knowledge. Then Kshatriya is meant for Virya, Shakti, Shaurya. Although knowledge is following that, so they are not deluded. They know what is to be done, how to administer the society, how to run the society. But they are, if it is pure, then they are free of the Sangha. So a real Raja, a proper Raja, will rule the kingdom impersonally. Just because it is his son, he will not be partial. As the Raghuvamsha Raja Sagara, the people came and reported to him that Maharaj, your son, who is going to be the king next, is asamanjasa, he is defective. He puts the babies in the water, and when they are gasping, not being able to breathe, he claps and he rejoices in that. So it's a very distorted character. He inquired, and when he found that it is true, he banished him. Completely sent him away. He understood that this cannot be corrected. See how they are instant decision taking. He could have thought that, oh, he is like that, I will see for 1 year, 2 years, we will correct him. No, it is a question of a Raja. If he allows this, then people will take the freedom. Not only that, he is going to become the Raja later. If it is not set right, so no chance, send him away, exile. And if no other son is there, they will look for somebody, they will adopt somebody who is fit to rule the kingdom. Like that. That is how Rama had to banish Sita also. Because people started saying that if the Raja takes a person which they felt that corrupted in Ravana's palace, who stayed for such a long period, then we can also do it. It came from a Dhobi house. But there were many people who were talking about it. So it was a question of, Rama knew very well whatever Sita was or not. But it was for him to take a decision that if he remains, then the people are not going to be satisfied by his behavior. So he has to come out from the kingdom, keeping somebody else over there. Or he has to banish Sita. Now the banishing also he did cleverly in a manner without telling anything, left her near Valmiki's cottage, knowing very well that Valmiki will protect and all. But the fact is that even Sita would not have liked if Rama had renounced his kingdom or his asana to be a husband to her. It's not a husband dimension is much less than the kingly dimension. He has the responsibility of ruling the whole, and he was a king selected by the general people. When Dasharatha was old, he had called a meeting of the whole, all the leaders of the different clans and all, everybody from all aspects of life, and asked him, told them that I am becoming old, so I would like to entrust somebody the throne. What do you feel? Whom can I do it? Everybody at one word said that Rama, Rama, Rama. It was so much of a response. Dasharatha said that, Are, you are all saying Rama, that means I am not ruling you properly. How is it that all of you are so much for Rama? That means my rule you are not liking. Then they said, no, you are ruling all right, but Rama is out of question. He is the best. So naturally, for the benefit of the society, it has to be. Just like Arjuna had to kill Bhishma for the same. That when we go over to that impersonal dimension, then the karma has to become a yoga. Then we cannot understand those activities by our common moral code of action. That's the main thing. Then, so that is what a Kshatriya is. Then the Vaishya, the main purpose of Vaishya Vritti is sharing. We should not look down upon it. Without business, can the society survive? They are getting the materials from one place and reaching it to where it will be. The whole economy is managed by them. Without that, the distribution would not take place. So there, the Brahmana is supposed to give knowledge, and the code was that for knowledge you cannot take any money. Vidya, you cannot take charge for it. Anybody who is fit to get the Vidya should be given. It was the fitness which was the criterion, not money. Now see what has happened in India, the universities. It was not supposed to be. Then Kshatriya is supposed to apply his all power to protect the society. Not to show his power or to win over other areas or to attack another person or so, attack another king or so. It was to protect the society. Wherever it was necessary, he will apply his force to protect the society. And the Vaishya was necessary for sharing everywhere. The basic quality is sharing. And the Shudra was main quality is service. They may not have so much of knowledge, they are lacking in the Sattva guna. They may not have so much of power as the Kshatriya also. But they have the bodily power and other thing with which they can serve the society. Now, a knower generally is believed to be having all the four varnas together. Why? He is knower, so knowledge part is without question, it is there. He is the protector of the society not by his shaurya, but whatever he does is the ultimate protection. He is always trying to put the society on the auspicious track by loka sangraha, so that the society does not get destabilized or go on the wrong path. The sharing, whatever he has, he shares with everybody. Without any money, without anything, he shares. That is his Vaishyavritti. And the Sudra serving, he serves everybody. A knower is the servant for everybody. Am I not serving you? A free service, of course, but in other cases you have to pay also. I mean, the Shudra service you are supposed to pay, except the Brahmana, all others are paid. So, what happens is that these are the varnas created by nature. It is there everywhere. But one thing people don't understand, that after some time the varna becomes a jati. That is where the main problem is. As long as it is varna, then you have the option of changing your varna, you can cultivate the sattva guna and you can get to others. That such examples are many there in the Upanishads also. But is not a musician generally likely to marry another musician? He would prefer the partner to be also a musician. Is it not? That is how you will find, if not the second generation, in the third generation, the children, from the age of 1 or 2, they start singing or having the musical sense. So what has happened? The varna, the gunas which were there as varna, they are now propagating through heredity. After some time, suppose those who are given to education, professors and all, they will marry from them. Generally, exceptions will be there. IT people will marry IT, professors will professor generally, but there will be exceptions. But generally it will be like that. So the next generation is supposed to carry on with the qualities of the parents. If it gets further consolidated, if it continues over a few generations. So in our country, all the artisans and technology went to a amazing height. You know about the Vastra Shilpa and various arts and all, the Sthapatya, the temple architecture and all. It is because generation after generation these people have been doing it. The carpenter remains in the family carpenter. It is not to look down upon anything. The whole Indian culture has got distorted. Maybe partly you can say British people and all, but by itself also it will get distorted unless there is a correcting force working. It is not looking down upon anything at all. It is encouraging the whole variety of the universe by encouraging every varna, every quality has got a role to play in the society, and it is encouraged through that. And how can you reach the peak of that quality? By making it stabilized through the heredity. Our carpenter, he will make this curriculum, those old constructions. I was not able to understand how he is doing. And Swamiji told me of our carpenter once he was not able to find out that a single thing has to pass through the angular elements. How will it pass? He was not able to solve. Night he got a dream in which his ancestor came and showed by a bullet that it passes through this like this. And next day he did. Now, whether the ancestor came in dream or not, it's not that. But they have the allegiance to the heredity, and that is how they are getting the knowledge. And it somehow comes to them when they are finding it difficult. You know that Dhakai silk, they had given to Victoria where it can be put in and passed through a ring. Another, they say that it is put in an elaichi, the cardamom. Those are there. And in reward, he cut off all the thumbs of the people. So, it is not to, the Indian culture is not to fragment the society, but it is always to encourage the diversity by giving the base of unity in diversity. And all of these people are fully, legitimately can go for the ultimate emancipation, freedom or knowledge. By practicing asangatva. The sangha is the main trouble. By practicing non-doership, non-enjoyership. It doesn't matter which varna he belongs to.
This is about the service, right? Like, why do we say, because service part is they are doing good to the society, but how come tamas is why do we say tamas is the predominant quality there?
Those who have the tamasa quality at its height, they cannot do the studies, understand properly. They cannot do the king's or the administrative role. If they lack the business acumen, they will not be able to do it. But they can certainly serve others. So for the tamasa, the person who is having tamasa at its top, he can promote himself by serving others. That is his swabhava karma. By serving others, it is such a thing that he is not doing whatever he is supposed to do for his own benefit. It is again the surrender is being cultivated through that. Because he will not be able to do the swabhava karma of others. These are all the swakarma. That is, you have certain characteristics in your personality. And according to that, you choose your karma. So the choice of the karma will be designed by this. Not that the others will not be service. Everybody has the service, and in the purest form, everybody, the Kshatriya also is a service. The knowledge also is a service. In its purer form, everybody is doing the service. But in the Varna classification, when you have these qualities in this measure, in this order, then you cannot do neither you can practice the knowledge, nor you can practice the kingly dimension. Even in business also, we may say, but business needs lot of business acumen which may not be available to them. It needs lot of buddhi there. So it is a indication that they can serve others. Suppose he can serve a businessman, he can serve a king, he can serve a knower also. Through that service, they will go in their changing of the transformation of their being. You cannot teach them Shastra because they will not understand, they will not read also. But what they need is the humility. So what happened, it is very naturally the whole thing got distorted and people started looking down upon them. There comes the problem. Everybody is a manifestation of the soul, and you should never look down upon anybody, that they are all manifestation of the soul. But the nature is such that the manifestation is always various, it's variety. And for each variety to go and finally have the emancipation, certain swakarma is given, through which they can Sve sve karmanyabhiratah samsiddhim labate naraha swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tachunu. Before doing this varna division, they are saying, after doing the varna division, Sve sve karmani abhiratah samsiddhim labate nara. Samsiddhim, sammak siddhim. They can attain the siddhi. Siddhi means the ultimate emancipation. Swakarma nirata siddhim. They remaining in their own karma, how will they have the siddhi? So each will have to do it in its given quality. That has to be activated. For those who are, otherwise the question will be that those who cannot understand the Shastras, those who cannot have the shaurya, virya of a king and all, is not the liberation meant for them? Yes, what Bhagavad Gita is saying? It is everybody's birthright. But only you have to take to your swakarma. If he says that I will read Shastras and do, he will do a wrong thing there. He will misunderstand the Shastras and the whole society will become wrong. Do you understand? That is the danger there. That is why he said that Sesve Karmanya Virata. If they remain in their own karma, swakarma, which is natural to them, nothing is bad. An artist should practice his artistry. A servant who is serving with his bodily power, he should apply his bodily power to serve. But with all the good qualities, without sangha and all. But the main purpose is to remove sangha, remove kartritva bodha, bhoktritva bodha. Then you will attain the ultimate goal. Your karma will not restrict you from attaining the ultimate goal. It will only help you to go forward. It's a little difficult, maybe we may have to think more. See, the whole Bhagavad Gita is based on Arjuna's question. That Arjuna thought that his swakarma, yuddha, in this particular case was becoming a papa karma because he had to kill his own people, kill his own most beloved grandfather, teacher, everything. So the Daruna Kshatriya Dharma is called our Shastra. That is, Kshatriya Dharma is not at all easy. All these things, whatever Arjuna had to do, it is part of the Kshatriya Dharma. Now here, how it comes is that he wanted to leave the war field and go to the forest and live on bhiksha vritti, taking up sannyasa and pursue the knowledge. That is why he is repeatedly saying in the 3rd chapter, 5th chapter and many chapters that Krishna, but when you are saying that this knowledge is the ultimate and it is the supreme, then why are you asking me to fight? Then again Krishna is telling him that you will reach the same thing by practicing your own swakarma. But suppose you go to the forest, I am putting the words not in this manner, that suppose you go to the forest, you have 14 years you have been thinking about this war, thinking about how to punish Duryodhana and all, that is your Kshatriya Dharma you have thought about. So even if you go to the forest, you will not be able to read the Shastras or meditate. Your mind will not allow, your mind will be constantly going back to the war. So that trying to pursue the life of a sannyasin or let us say sannyasin will not be your swakarma, which will lead to, if it had been your swakarma, it would lead to auspicious goal. But changing your karma like this, not doing your, pursuing your, you will not be led to auspicious goal. That was the point. Now here what is that? The Kshatriya qualities, with the Kshatriya qualities he cannot study Shastras and do meditation and do. But Krishna is saying, pursuing your own activity also I will take you to the same goal. Why? How? He says that you do your activity by getting rid of the Sangha. That same Sangha is coming and the doership and enjoyership. That is the Sangha means whatever you are clinging to your likes and dislikes. And what did he have to do? He was considering the Kshatriya Dharma to be papa because he had to kill his own grandfather and own teacher. Now, if that is what you have to do, then you can do it by getting over the enmity and the partiality you have. That is, you are having enmity towards Duryodhana and partiality towards your grandfather and all, teacher. But if you can overcome this, then you can kill your grandfather without having any enmity towards him, or overcoming your love for him also you can do it. That is the Kshatriya Dharma, that even for the police and other people, is it easy? They have to take to, but these are all discussed in Bhagavad Gita, that even if your swakarma contains some bad elements, so-called bad elements, you can overcome that by practicing nisangatva, by overcoming your clinging to that you are wanting to participate in the war to win the kingdom. That is your sangha. You should not do it. You do it as because it has to be done for the establishment of righteous rule on earth. And you do it for that purpose. Then your mind will not be getting any kalmasha, any taint by killing whatever you have to kill. So it's not that the Shudra or Vaishya or Kshatriya will not be able to reach the jnana, the ultimate knowledge. They will reach the jnana, everybody will reach the jnana by practicing asangatva, by removing their sangha to, that is their desire, their clinging to what they like. Suppose the Shudra is clinging to nidralasya, as they have that. These are the Shudra characteristics. If they can get over those clinging and do it as a pure service, like a jajna, as Bhagavad Gita is clearly, it goes after that, many shlokas are there, you can study also. Then he will be able to get to the same knowledge of the truth, about his own identity. So that should be clearly taken in. It's not that his qualities will immediately change. His qualities because their qualities are mostly coming to birth also. As I just now said, the musicians' children will be musicians normally, the professors will be that, those who are serving in the physical level, their children also generally will be serving in that, unless there is a change in the qualities. But for the emancipation, for the knowledge and the ultimate liberation, you don't have to change the qualities. Keeping your swakarma, keeping your swadharma, keeping your qualities, if you can practice the removal of the sangha, removal of the delusion, removal of doership and enjoyship, then doing the same karma you will become a knower. That is the main point here. Okay. Suppose in Arjuna's case, as Krishna gave him the message, the Upadesha and the association to get over his whatever was hindering from discharging his Kshatriya duty. Similarly, in Yoga Vasishta, Vasishta Deva talks about many kings. Because the king's work is very difficult. A good king, it's a torture for him, because sometimes he has to give capital punishment also. What will happen to the family? All these thoughts will be there. Moreover, sometimes the punishment may go wrong to a wrong person, because it is not through Supreme Court, High Court and so many years of case running. It is right there, they have to take a decision and give. So the kings used to undergo a lot of torture in their mind. And Yoga Vasishta discusses about quite a few kings, those who had left the kingdom because of that. And what they are doing is that then they are wandering in the forest, like as Arjuna said they will do. But they get the association of a saint or a hermit over there, and understands that how he can rule the kingdom without getting affected. That's the knowledge they are getting, and they are coming back to the kingdom and again performing the king's duties. These examples are there in Yoga Vasishta. So it is not it's the same like Krishna advising Arjuna. They are going to a saint or a hermit and getting rid of their whatever delusion they have, and then coming back to their work. It's not the gunas had to be changed. Their Kshatriya gunas remain still, but they are incorporating the knowledge to get over the whatever hindrances are there. And with the Kshatriya quality, they are ruling the kingdom again. So one does not have to, what Bhagavad Gita is trying to say is, you don't have to leave your swakarma. Whatever you are made of, whatever qualities you have, you can keep all your qualities, but getting rid of your ahankara and sangha, you can do whatever you are doing with full freedom and enlightenment. That is the main. Okay.
Prabuddham vimuktam vikaraadihinam prasannam sada nityabodhaswarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sada nusmarami pranaumi.